this demo I'm going to show you the TimeTrust desktop application and how you can use a fingerprint scanner to scan people in and out of TimeTrust on Windows. So this is the interface. You can see here we've got menu options down on the left hand side. You can see here we're on the scan on and off page. So this basically replicates what's on the website. So there's a job scan page, which is just like on the website, and there's also the scan page. What you can't see here is I've connected up a USB fingerprint scanner to this computer. So these are reasonably inexpensive fingerprint scanners. They obviously power and work through USB, but they're fairly durable as well, so it's a fairly good option. If you work in sort of a maybe a workshop sort of scenario, to have maybe a terminal or a couple terminals set up, maybe at the front door or something like that of the workshop, what you'd have set up is basically this screen here would be sitting here waiting for an input. So at the moment we've opened up the application, we've got everything configured. This is what a user basically sees as they walk past the terminal. So the fingerprint scanner here is ready to go, and as soon as someone pushes their finger down, it will recognize that's happened and then talk to the database. So first of all, I'll just I'll do a fingerprint that isn't a valid one. So you see here it's taken my fingerprint. I've used one that I haven't saved in the database, so it doesn't know who I am. So if it was a random person or a person that hasn't been saved to the database yet, that's the sort of message you see. So you can see fingerprint not found. It shows you a picture of the fingerprint, and then it will go away after a few seconds. But if the user's a valid user, they've been saved in the database, I'll just do another finger now. So it comes up with the person's name, shows the picture of the fingerprint and says scanned in. So the user can see when they walk in, they can see the time at the top right here, they can see the date obviously, so that's what's been saved to TimeTrust. So it knows what time and what date's been saved to the database. So the idea would be at the start of the day, user would just walk in for the front door, press the fingerprint down, do their job for the day, and then at the end of the day they'd do the same sort of thing. They'd scan their finger on the way out. That time is all recorded to TimeTrust, so then TimeTrust knows when the user came in for the day and when they left for the day. The supervisor then can see an overview of who's logged in, who hasn't logged in, and what needs to be posted. So I'll just do a demo of scanning out at the end of the day. You can see here that the time's changed. This time is rounded to a setting that's set by the admin, so you can control when that rounding happens. So if you want it to the closest 15 minutes like it is at the moment, you can configure that within the front end of the application. So I'll just scan myself out now, and there we go. So basically in this case I worked 15 minutes. I started at 3:30 and I left at 3:45, and that's saved in the system. Going along to the job scan page, it's a similar sort of scenario as the scan on and off page. The only difference being that you scan your finger in the system, and then basically you can choose a job to scan into. You can see here it gives you a bit of instructions on what you can do. This is going to be a case of when it's more of a job specific scenario. So maybe again in a workshop environment where recording against job is required. The user would come along, this screen would be set to the default, a fingerprint would be pushed down, the user would select the job they started, they'd click scan in. They've also got the option here of stage and cost center, but that's optional, and it's configurable by the admin to say whether or not that's required or not. They scan into their job. Once they finish their job, say an hour or a few hours later, they'd come back to the terminal, again push their fingerprint and scan out. So this can be done multiple times during the day, and it's just only if in the case of job-specific scanning. So those are the two entry methods that are available in the Windows side of the application.